everyone, welcome back to the channel. So if you're new to this channel, in this channel I just usually share some of the things that I used to change my lifestyle in the past 2 years by building a healthy routine, by going to the gym, and by reading more books. Occasionally I share some of the fun things happening in my life. So today is monthly favorite time. This month's favorite, I just want to share a book that I really enjoy reading, and it's also part of the book club series as well. So this book is Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. This is a classic of the modern days. I would say it's the first ever fiction that I read this year. It's one of my farewell gifts from my friend when I left Hong Kong. So in the past several years, I've been focusing on reading all those self-help books and how you can live a healthy life, how you can navigate your career better, all those kind of books. I didn't read any of the fiction books, so I really appreciate my friend when he suggests that it would be a nice books for me to read. And I am also surprised that I have never read this book before. I believe most of you must have at least heard of this book or know what's going on in this book, so I don't want to review too much of the book itself. I just want to share this with you because I really like it. So as the name suggests, it's a story about a guy travel around the world in 80 days, and because of the time the book is published, it's in 1872. It's a time after the Industrial Revolution, and that is why it's possible for somebody to travel around the world in 80 days. The man in the story, Phileas Fogg, started his trip in London, traveled all the way to the east, India, Hong Kong, Japan, and from there he kept going to the United States and all the way back to London, all in 80 days. I really like about this book because not only about the story, but also even though these days we can travel the same route. In the introduction, it also gave out a modern day travel around the world schedule. You basically start from London Heathrow Airport, go to Sydney, that takes you 21.1 hour, and then you have on the ground 4 hours or ish, and then from Sydney to Los Angeles, it takes 13 hours or so, and then you have on the ground travel for 6 hours, and then you go back to London Heathrow Airport. It takes you 10 hours. So we add that together. In today, a trip like that to circumvent the world would be 55 hours. Even though it seems like the technology has improved a lot and it allows us to travel in such a fast speed. What I really like about this book is that all those stories, all those adventures, and all those fascinating moments in a trip, you wouldn't really feel like all those elements are out of date, and you wouldn't feel like this book is out of date. I think that's the main part why I like this. The other thing is that this fiction book is almost like a science fiction back in the days, because in this case it's 1872. The man in the story, Mr. Fogg, is such a disciplined, well-mannered, calm, precise Englishman, and his servant, it's a very passionate, interesting and funny guy who's a French. So just in contrast of those two characters combined with all those elements that they're going to face when they travel around the world, just interesting enough to keep you going. You wouldn't really want to put this book down. Who is going to like this book? I think basically everybody does. It's such a classic. I believe you must have read it once or heard about it once. Maybe it's time to reread it again, because in the past almost like 18 months we couldn't really travel like we used to in the past. It's just such a good time to read a book like this, just to remind us that not just being sad about not being able to travel, but just let go of the uncontrollable things in life. Let the book carry us to all the places, all the adventures that the story has to go. And hopefully one day when we get back to where we were before, like when we can properly travel one day, we can appreciate it, plan it well, and we can really do it in a way that's worth it. It's really a great, fascinating stories with all those surprises, you know, the threats, the difficult situations when you're traveling, when those unexpected situations. Also, it's a love story. It's a book of all you can ask for. Highly recommended. This is today's monthly favorite time and also book club series about this book, Around the World in 80 Days. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so. If you like this video, please hit the like button and share it with your friends.